Welcome to the Tour Coach Podcast. I'm Tony Ruggiero here, as I always am, your host, and you're joining in on what we are now having as the Tour Coach Minis. And those are little 10-minute conversations with myself or Jackson Court, who's going to be hosting some of this. These will be 10-minute conversations and musings from around the world of golf, from around our travels, our friends, our players, other coaches, to give you more Tour Coach, more Dew Sweeper content during the week. If you like what you hear on the podcast, you can always find more content as we're kind of spreading our wings, if you will, with Dew Sweepers TV on YouTube. There's links to it in our description. Please support the Dew Sweepers and like our page there on YouTube. And just like the Dew Sweepers radio show or the Tour Coach podcast, the Tour Coach Minis are brought to you by our friends at Shrixon Golf, our friends at Bushnell, Buick, GMC, especially Mitch McConnell, and McConnell Automotive, and you can't forget Vineyard Vines that keep us all looking good. So enjoy this episode of the Tour Coach Mini, and we're here with all the golf content you could ever want each and every week.
Sitting in, Coop, you're going to become regular here on the podcast.
Hey, that's okay.
Donald?
I'm all right with that.
All right. So hopefully people have been listening because I love your insight, your experience.
I just like talking to you, Jackson.
Oh, you're the man, Coop. I've got a bunch more questions for you, but I'm just going to rip through. I want to hear some of your favorite things. So what are some of your favorite courses to walk?
Oh, right offhand, at my age now, it's got to be Harbor Town.
Really?
Well, this the short. I'm just picking shortest distance to walk, but and with a view too.
Fair.
But I'd have to say, the standard Augusta, and then west of the Mississippi would have to be Pebble. There's one over there across the water called Royal Port Rush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just fantastic golf course. That may be one of my favorite. It's bumped up near one because it's just, I've only been there that 1 week. We played the Open, but what a fantastic golf course. I've been to so many. I'm trying to think of a hidden gem. I love Carnoustie, Birkdale.
Okay.
But the favorite, I would have to say that Royal Port Rush and Augusta are right there slamming each other in the head for first place.
What makes them a good walk? Is it the beauty? Is it the design? Is it the environment?
That'd be D, all of the above.
All of the above.
It's, I always put their history first, like what you know about the course, then the view, and then that's about what does it for me. And Pebble and Augusta, to me, you can't beat those two. I went to Port Rush and had a fantastic week there. We didn't win, but we played decent, and the fans were so great. The course is so pretty. And then having Shane Lowry win there, just kind of a special week, not for me, but for golf.
What makes a course design good? All right, you have some great courses that look pretty. I've got a couple but they're not my favorite to play. But then you can go to some golf courses that might not be pretty, and it's really a fun routing. When you're out there, what makes a golf course design good?
I think I did some thinking about this just throughout the years, because Lucas and I used to always talk about designing a course that played the most over par at the shortest yardage.
Interesting.
So, every par 4, we would have to try to pick one under 400 yards. And what we found made the hard holes hard that were short is, if you can barely bend a hole to the point where you can't see the green, just barely bending holes. I don't know if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Not dog legs, but just holes that just barely arc off of a line. That makes them good. And also elevated greens on short holes. For some reason that works.
Interesting.
I love number 9 at Hilton Head.
Okay.
Just number 10 at the Riv.
Great hole.
Number 12 at Augusta, par 3 under 150, treacherously hard.
Do you like it when short par 4s have options off the tee, or do you like it when they're
I love
forced into a driver or forced?
I love options.
Yeah.
Options create tired brains towards the end. So I think a player that hits driver on every par 4, par 5 is a little more mentally, has more mental stability than somebody that's got to decide on every par 4. Do I hit iron? Do I hit driver? I think, I love holes with, as many options as possible. I don't mean 2 different fairways, but just, do I blast it? Do I lay back? What do I do? I think and that's number 9 at Hilton Head, a hammer on the nail head right there. That you can hit any club you want from 6 iron to driver. But, it's just not that easy. You got to hit good shots.
What are some of your favorite par 5s?
Favorite par 5s? Oh, let's see here. I love the one at Torrey is number 6, Torrey Pines. I love that hole because it's a barely bending par 5. It just slowly bends to the right. I think that 13 at Augusta National is always a great hole. And it's not that long, and what's wrong with making a birdie or an eagle? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Or making a bogey quick.
Right, but we'll see. I think, did they play the back? I think they'll play the back tee at 13 this year. For the first year.
Awesome.
So it's gonna change the dynamics of that hole because and that goes to your point. Everybody's gonna hit driver now because it's been backed up so far. To me, is that a good change? I'm not gonna knock Augusta's decision. I'm sure it's a good change, but would I have done it? I don't know. I just think, a player getting up there on Sunday, having to decide if he hits 5 wood, 3 wood, or driver, that's just playing into the course's favor. Then if, you stand up on a hole and it's 670 yards and, you just got to hit driver 3 wood, you know what I mean? It's a decision that you got to make.
What are your favorite par 3s besides 12 at Augusta?
I can tell you my least favorite one.
Come on.
My least favorite par 3 is the 12th hole at Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a daggum peninsula green, and some days it could be almost 5 iron. And I mean, it's designed for 8 at the most. And Jack's backed it up to where it's a, 5, 6 iron, and it's just so tough. And what it is, you can hit it in the back bunker on that hole. It'll be on a downslope, hit it in the water. You got to walk all the way around to the other side of the pond, between the tee and the pond, to drop.
Jeez.
So if that happens, and Lucas and I did that one year, it's called the March of Death. I mean, it takes a long time to make, to hit that many shots on that hole, and you back the field up, and just, I don't like that hole. But some of my favorites. There's a course in New York called Liberty National that was not my favorite course.
Okay.
But there's a par 3 on the back. I'm not sure the number of the hole, but it's right on the water, and it's got reeds in front of it that grow up, not to cover the green, but it's just reeds everywhere, and it is a beautiful hole. And I think the max it can play is about 140 something.
Interesting.
And it's a very hard golf hole. But that's one great hole. It'd be on my course with the short that Lucas and I were designing in mind. 12 at Augusta.
Yeah.
For sure, the wind's the one that does the tricks there.
What are some of your favorite fan bases? Do you like New York? Do you like West Coast? Do you like across the pond?
Jumping out across the pond and Hartford, Connecticut, their fan base is just second to none. I'm telling you. And I think it's because the tournament means so much to them, They are just super nice. They're there in the rain. It doesn't matter what the situation, they're there supporting the golf course. But I always like Quail Hollow, too. They had great their fan base was really, really good.
What's the fan like at majors compared to normal events?
Over here, it's just now the theme is stairs. I've noticed that started noticing about 15 years ago. Every major we went to, they started making us climb these stairs. And at Congressional, when Rory destroyed the field, I was counting from the 18th green to scoring, and you're going to think I'm joking here, but I'm not. It was like close to 500 steps.
What?
Yeah, it was a cart ride during, when it was just the PGA tournament.
Yeah.
But when they turned it into the major, we had to walk up these stairs and across this floating dock on a pond. It was just ridiculous. Then the next year we went to this Chambers Bay thing, and 2 or 3 times on the golf course, instead of walking on a flat area, we had to walk up these giant stairs and down these giant stairs so trucks could bring in goods. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like become part of the walk now. I mean, I remember Atlanta Athletic Club, it was 110 degrees, and there was so many stairs you had to go up and then go down. And you look backwards in this flat ground. It's like, what? Why did we just stop the people or something? And I'll tell you, a course that plays like that is a course that I love, where we play the John Deere.
Yep.
Every single tee, you walk straight up a hill to it. Then you walk straight down the hill when you hit off the tee, straight back up one to get to the fairway. At the end of the fairway, you walk straight back down and then straight back up to the green. And you look back and goes, some bridges there would make this place flat. And Lumpy one time told me, he goes, I'd pay half the cost for the bridges here.
Oh my God.
Because it's always so hot there. But yeah, that's a tough one to walk too.
All right, give me your hot topic. Give me one place you would never go back.
Chambers Bay. Without a doubt.
Done.
That only one place in my life that I've ever been to that I would never go back.
How come?
It made no sense to me. It just had no route. The route made no sense. It was like a rainbow with no pot of gold.
Oh,
I mean, I had no good experiences there. I mean, there was, by the end of the week, there were bunkers in the middle of the greens. Mm-hmm. I think it was just a little too young to try to have what they had there.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. We hadn't had another one, have we?
All right, last question. I got another good one for you. What's the most memorable round for you? You've caddied.
The most memorable round.
One you'll never forget.
Oh, Lucas and I are at Charlotte playing, and I think it may be the year we played it. Just it had no sponsor name. It was just the tournament at Quail Hollow.
Okay.
And it turned so cold on us, and it rained all day long on Sunday. And I mean, it was blowing and raining and cold. It was like sleet, not rain. And Lucas shot just incredible low, and we played really well, moved up the leaderboard. And I just always remember we talked on the way home going, damn, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was just, we were proud of ourselves for conquering the bad conditions. And, to this day, if it's nasty out, if I was a gambling man, I would put my money on Glover. He's a mutter.
Right there.
Yeah, he is a mutter.
That is too good.
And may have been why he won the U.S. Open in the rain. He just plays well in the conditions.
That's so great. I could sit here and ask you these questions all day long, Coop. So I promise we'll have you back on for more, but I really appreciate your time, Coop. Thanks.
Yes, sir. You got it. Thank you, Jackson.
I just want to remind everybody something that I forgot. Recently, a couple weeks ago, my wife and I went out. We went to a wedding, and afterwards with some friends, we were like, hey, where's a great place to go? I'll be honest, in my travels and day-to-day, sometimes I get caught up and I forget some of the great places right around the corner. But I got to remind you about the Icebox Bar on 755 Monroe Street. I was blown away by just the whole vibe, the atmosphere, and with the Velvet Pig, the food in the back room, and the big screen TVs up front. We sat there and watched some playoff games. I was blown away by the atmosphere, the vibe, and just how cool it was to have the Icebox Bar right here near the Dew Sweepers downtown, near where I live. You're looking for a great place to go sit, watch some games, hang out, play some pool, you got to go to the Icebox Bar right there on Monroe Street. There's a good chance you'll see all of us hanging out. But do yourself a favor, go visit the Icebox. It's one of the best places out there. Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero. And look, recently, several teachers I know and several players have had some scares with skin cancer. In fact, I recently went and saw a dermatologist here in town, and I had a couple things frozen off, eyelid, my face, my earlobe, and not getting any younger. And I know it's getting to that time of the season where it's cooler, but look, being in the sun is a real deal, and I've not been very good, to be totally honest, my whole career at using it at all, because I didn't like how greasy it was, how hard it was to get off your hands, how it clogged up my pores. And then I found this sunscreen, Visor Skincare. It's clear, it goes on, it doesn't dry you out, it isn't greasy, it's like you didn't put anything on it. By far, it's the best sunscreen I've ever used. Without a doubt, is the easiest to use. And we've got a discount code for all of you. All you have to do is go to visorskincare.com, use our code word DewSweeper. visorskincare.com, code word DewSweeper.